All right, how's everyone doing today? I think we're just about set to get going. Again, the volume's fine. Stacy? Excellent. Okay, I would ask people to please stand while the Standing Arrow singers perform the honor song. Thank you, gentlemen, and you're more than welcome to stay with us for the remainder of the ceremony, and perhaps you can indulge us with another song for our closing today. With that, again, I want to welcome everyone to today's swearing-in ceremony for our elected officials as we swear in tribal chief, or tribal sub-chief, chief judge for the tribal court, and a tribal traffic court judge. My name is Brendan White. I am the Director of Communications for the tribe, and it's my pleasure to MC today's ceremony. Before we begin, I just want to do some acknowledgments for folks that helped to make today's event possible. I would like to thank my co-workers in the Communications Department, Amy Benedict, Allison Thompson. I would also like to thank Annie Bureau, Tom Tarbell, and other folks from the tribe's maintenance. And if there's anyone else I overlooked, my apologies, but thank you very much for staying here late and taking care of this setup. I also want to recognize the following local vendors: Elma Ransom for the catering, I would like to thank Beauty and Bloom for providing the flowers, and of course the decorating by Midnight Confetti. Didn't they do a wonderful job? I would also like to recognize Three Feathers Cafe for catering today's event. Actually, they did the cakes, which are over in the back, and we'll enjoy those after today's ceremony. And a special thanks to the Akwesasne Mohawk Casino Resort for furnishing the tables, chairs, the sound system. Thank you very much. I want to recognize a few folks that we have joining us today. I'm told that we have Chairman of the St. Lawrence County Legislature, John Burke, joining us today. John, are you here? Thank you. We also have General Manager of the Akwesasne Mohawk Casino Resort, Shannon Keel, and her management team. If I can ask you folks to please rise. Thank you very much for being here. I see a few members of our police commission. Our police commission, if you can please rise. I guess I'm mistaken. Okay, moving along. Just to tell you how today's event is going to unfold, we are going to have our tribal clerk come forward to swear in our new chief judge, who will then swear in the remaining officials for today's event. I think many of you are appreciative that the HVAC is fixed for this year. Those who were here last year, I know it was a little warm. Today it's supposed to be 90, 91, but fortunately we have the air conditioning up and running, so it's much, much more bearable. Okay. Folks, it is my pleasure to stand before you today to once again welcome in our re-elected and some new officials to the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe. When I stood before you last year, I spoke about community service and how there's always something that each of us can do to help make Akwesasne a better place. There's still a lot that needs to be done, and we're all doing our part. So is Tribal Council. And I think the result of this year's tribal election is an indication that we're moving in the right direction. I think it's an indication that we have before us a very strong, a very good team. With that, they function as a team very well. They approach every issue with teamwork. They each bring their own unique knowledge, experiences, and skills to assess, analyze, evaluate, and develop solutions that are in the best interest of the community. I'm very fortunate to have joined them several weeks ago when they went on a lobbying trip to Washington, D.C., and I had the privilege of seeing that teamwork in action. And it was quite refreshing to see how they complement each other. And I encourage you to please attend the next tribal meeting on July 11th for an update on the lobbying efforts that they are undertaking. For our first speaker today, it gives me pleasure to welcome an official who joined Tribal Council back in 2004. He served for 2 years as Tribal Sub-Chief and is currently in his second term as Tribal Chief. But you may know him better for the years that he spent when CKON Radio first started as a disc jockey. Or maybe you've enjoyed some of the pancakes that he makes when he's the head chef for the annual Akwesasne Christmas basket drive at the fire station. He's quite a colorful individual, and I think some of us have enjoyed his colorful commentary for the Akwesasne Junior B lacrosse games on Akwesasne TV. He's also a coach for the Akwesasne Attack girls lacrosse team. Please join me in welcoming Tribal Chief Ron LaFrance.
I would like to personally welcome everyone gathered here today for the swearing-in ceremony for Chief Beverly Cook, Sub-Chief Shelley Jacobs, Chief Judge Carrie Garrow, and Traffic Court Judge Lois Terrance. I've known Beverly most of my life as a healthcare provider, a family friend, an activist for Ungahumar rights, one of the first members of the Parents Committee at the Akwesasne Freedom School, and for the past 3 years as a sitting member of the St. Regis Mohawk Tribal Council. Serving on council is at times a trial of give and take. When we make decisions that affect the livelihood of all Akwesasne, we are tasked with 3 choices. Number 1, making the right decision that affects our people in a positive manner and hopefully doesn't have a lasting negative impact on some. Number 2, making a bad decision that doesn't have a negative impact that affects all of our people. And 3rd, making no decision at all. I can honestly say that as a council, we have made all of our decisions with you, our members, in mind. Locking onto a vision for the future is a daunting task. Seeing its implementation and success is something we as a council strive for. I'm very proud to say that I have witnessed 11 inaugurations on my time on council. This will be my 2nd time honoring the efforts of Chief Cook and her supporters who have fought through the ugliness of tribal elections with a good heart, with one goal in sight: serving the community with honor, dignity, and respect. Congratulations. It's also my honor to witness the swearing in for a 3rd time to Sub-Chief Shelley Jacobs. Sub-Chief Jacobs fought through the passing of her father at a time when she needed him the most. Her attention to detail and procedure is what cements our council. I've had the pleasure of serving beside her for the last 6 years and look forward to serving with her for many years to come. Sub-Chief Jacobs' commitment to our community, to the community of Akwesasne, is evident that she sought a 3rd term as Sub-Chief. Some say that serving on council is a thankless job. I think that's not true at all. I believe Sub-Chief Jacobs believes that too. The rewards far outnumber the negatives of this job. She was very instrumental in helping roll out the snowsuit and jacket drive council does right before it starts to get cold in the fall. I'm proud to say that this program has been in existence for the past 5 years, and without her assistance and support, this program may have been a one-time thing. Fortunately, for those children who receive a new jacket every year, we are proud to say that this tradition will continue. And for incoming Chief Judge Carrie Garrow, good luck. That is probably a more thankless position than tribal council, and you have your work cut out for you, but I am very impressed with your past history. You have a stellar resume, and I believe with all my heart that you are going to do a very good job as our next Chief Judge. Carrie Garrow. And Ms. Terrance, you've been here as long as I have. That's a long time. And I didn't speed. I'm just kidding. I always follow the rules of the road. I never text and drive. I never talk on the phone and drive. And that's because I know if I do, Traffic Court Judge Terrance is going to dole out a punishment. So with that, I'd like to thank congratulate Lois Terrance and Carrie Garrow on their new ventures as Chief Judge, and Traffic Court Judge. In closing, I would like to congratulate Chief Beverly Cook and Sub-Chief Shelley Jacobs, Lois Terrance, and Carrie Garrow, and all their supporters in their re-election efforts as we witness their swearing in today. Now go on.
Yeah, well, Ron, I appreciate that. Our next speaker, when he ran for office, ran on the platform for the defense of Native sovereignty and the protection of Native rights. Since being elected to Tribal Council for his first term as Tribal Chief, he has been a very strong proponent and supporter for strengthening our Mohawk language, culture, and history. Along with Sub-Chief Michael Connors and others on Tribal Council, he has been re-engaging and strengthening our relationship at the state and in particularly at the federal level. And once more, I encourage you to please come to the tribal meeting next Saturday for a lobbying update. It was very nice to hear when he took part in a congressional roundtable 2 weeks ago with Congressman Raul Ruiz that environmental justice in Indian country is a very, very important issue, not just for Akwesasne, but for all of Indian country. And it was surprising, for me at least, to see that the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe is only one of a handful of 566 federally recognized tribes that has an active and ongoing presence in Washington. The St. Regis Mohawk Tribe is right up there with nations like the Navajos and others. We are on a very, very short call list to take part in events like congressional hearings. And I would like to say that much of that is attributed to Tribal Chief Eric Thompson. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome him to the podium to share some opening remarks.
Sega zo gwego wat kon werado ani zarada ko hi go ya dalo loge do ga to joni ji wat kon wora taber ji wait kweni mo ke de hits ni go ga tagoni do ga to joni ji zo wat ya da na ji skona dano yet ni gon rio get points that you know you go out diretto you go to John and Kwati get you go in wago you want to know what the so you got sterista and then you got what so because then what you do you ragazzi non ji go idiots and on it when skona chini ji kan dunya hake so what one so I'd like to give my acknowledgement and my thanks to the people that are gathered here today, to acknowledge Beverly in this way. She has won the election. She's won the voice of the people. We've worked on many, many issues together, and it's important for me to convey to you the manner in which we work together. The council works on many, many difficult issues. We don't always agree, we're not always in accord, but we use our best minds to address whatever issues in front of us. As Chief LaFrance alluded to, it's always with the best interests of the community in mind. The concept that I use is we assist one another. sorry. Can you hear me? We can assist one another. We assist one another in the issues that we address on a daily basis. It's an important concept because we can't get anything done if we are not in accord with one another. We cannot get the visions that we carry for this community accomplished if we are going in 3 separate directions. We have to have solidarity on major issues that affect us. And with Beverly and Ron, we've accomplished that, and our sub-chiefs assist us in these day-to-day actions. We have health, environment, border crossing, tribal sovereignty, land claims. These are huge issues that affect us in our daily lives. We travel to Washington to accomplish these deeds, these actions. There's a lot of travel that occurs to that particular place, and it's out of necessity. It's not anything that we look forward to particularly, as each one of us has a family here in Akwesasne that I find difficult to leave every time we have to leave Akwesasne. But these issues are important. The environment is important. These are the roundtable that was alluded to and spoken of by Brendan was a very, very important issue that we worked for at least 2 years on. Beverly, myself, Mike, and with council's support, we were able to accomplish these things. The environment is fundamental to our health, our well-being, our culture. And Beverly is a very important voice on that, in these issues. The dimension that she brings to these issues is something that I can't speak to because of my background is more in law. Beverly's background is in health. This is a dimension that it cannot be understated. So I think that she's a very important voice for the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe on these issues. It's my pleasure to say congratulations. It's my honor to serve with her. I think that she's a very important voice on council, and there's a balance on council that allows us to accomplish the vision that we have for Akwesasne. My congratulations to Shelley. It's been my pleasure to serve with her. She is a very detail-oriented person, and I think that assists us a great deal. She keeps us on track a lot of times with regards to the rules and procedures. Her efforts as the voice on the housing board are very important. I think that the initiatives that are carried out there go to very important. They impact the lives of Akwesasne in a very meaningful way. This is housing. The initiatives that are being carried out there, I think, carry forth the vision of the council with regards to utilization of green energy. I think that her efforts are laudable. We're seeing very good results and trackable progress in these areas, and it's in no small part to Shelley. So I congratulate you on your election. She has made history, I believe, for a 3rd term as sub-chief, and I think that can be understated, and I congratulate you. Carrie. You know, Ron has said it best, I think. It's a very, very important position that you are going to fill. I think that a lot of the same issues that we face with regard to the gravity and impact on personal lives of Akwesasne are equally applicable to your office. You have a very impressive resume. I think that you're prepared for this position. I think that you will be able to apply the standards that need to be applied in these cases. I think that with an eye towards community, with an eye towards equal justice, these are very important concepts, and I believe that you will do an admirable job filling this position, and I wish you best of luck, and I acknowledge your position and congratulate you all. Ms. Terrance, this is I think that you among the people sitting here, are probably one of the longest serving in this position. This is a thankless job as well, because this is a traffic judge, so you get very irate individuals who are come before you on a weekly basis, and it is not an easy position to fill. I believe that you have done so admirably to reattain your position. I think it speaks well. It speaks volumes that you're able to have the tenure that you've enjoyed on this court. People have confidence in your abilities and have acknowledged that. So I congratulate you on your win as well. So with that, I give my acknowledgement. What's going on with all the stones that went up to me? Yeah.
Now, Eric. You know, a lot of communities are dealing with an issue that they call brain drain. And what that references is our younger people moving away, you know, going to college, getting a job, beginning a career, and we hope that they come home. That doesn't seem to be the case for Akwesasne. We're seeing a lot of our young people, as well as some of our Akwesasne who are well into their careers, come back with their skills, with their professional experience to help make our community a better place. As a result, we have within our community, we have physicians, we have pharmacists, we have optometrists, we have lawyers, we have educators, teachers, and it goes right on down the list. I'm very happy to see that we have returning to our community someone who has been a part of our tribal court system since its early development. You have her bio in your agenda for today, but some of the things that it does not include is the years of experience and the volume of work that she has done in other areas. It does not mention that she has served as a tribal justice consultant for a number of nonprofit organizations like Native Nations Institute, the Harvard Project on American Indian Economic Development, as well as the Tribal Law and Indigenous Policy Institute. It also does not note the dozens of work that she has personally authored or co-authored on tribal criminal law and other justice-related matters. She received her undergraduate degree from Dartmouth. She received her master's in public policy from Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University and her law degree at Stanford University. She's also served as the executive director at Syracuse University's Indigenous Governance and Citizenship Program, and has also served as a visiting professor at Syracuse's University School of Law. It gives me very much pleasure to welcome back as the Chief Judge for the St. Regis Mohawk Tribal Court, Chief Judge Carrie Garrow. With that, I would like to ask Tribal Clerk Betty Roundpoint to please come forward and conduct the oath of office for the Chief Judge.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Carrie Garrow,
I, Carrie Garrow,
accept the position of Chief Judge
accept the position of Chief Judge
for the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe.
for the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
to uphold the laws,
to uphold the laws,
customs, and traditions
customs, and traditions
of the people of the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe
of the people of the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe
and the community of Akwesasne.
and the community of Akwesasne.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's an honor to stand up here, and thank you so much for everyone who's already spoken for those very kind words. It's wonderful to be here and see so many friendly faces, and I won't take much time, but I just wanted to share a couple thoughts. I was thinking this week about my first week when I was working on my master's, where we had a federal judge come speak to us, and he reminded us to remember all those people whose shoulders that we stood upon to get where we were going, and who helped us and supported us and stood alongside us in achieving our dreams and our goals. So I'd like to thank my parents, Barbara and Cecil Garrow, and for everything they've done since I was a tiny baby, supporting me and encouraging me to set my goals on whatever I wanted, and cheered me along the way. I'm also grateful that my brother Michael and sister-in-law Roseanne and 3 of my nieces and nephews, Craig and Maxwell and Rebecca, are here. I don't think my brother and I, if we had tried, we could have planned to return home on the same summer, but it's sure fun to see him here and to be together as adults. And they bring a lot of joy to my life. Of course, I can't forget the rest of the front row sitting up here, and my aunts and cousins, and also want to thank all of my uncles and cousins who couldn't be here today. And it's one of the great things about coming home to do a job that I love is also to come home and make many more memories and fun times with my family. We've shared many laughs and a few tears over the years, and I'm so excited to be home with them. And I also want to thank all of you and all the community members who not just supported me throughout the election season, but throughout the years as I was growing up here in Akwesasne, and people who always supported me in the endeavors that I did. I also want to thank our court staff. I've had the opportunity to work with them as an associate judge and appellate judge in the past couple of years, and they're very hardworking and dedicated to doing their jobs, and I'm very excited to work with them and continue to work alongside with them to provide a very fair process in our community at the court system. I'm also really excited to work with our Healing to Wellness court team and work alongside them. I've come to know them attending several trainings with them as I've been very fortunate as a consultant to do some of those trainings, and I've gotten to see them and even encourage them to present at times with us. And they do an amazing job and do the hard job of helping people who are battling addiction and trying to find a healthy pathway in this life. And it's a hard job. And so I'm excited to take my place on the team and work with them. Sometimes people ask those of us who work in the court system, what exactly do? You just read law books and use a lot of legal words, but I like to think of us as problem solvers. A lot of times we see community members who are at a very low point in their lives, whether they're having a hard time in their family or they've reached a terrible business disagreement or dispute with their neighbors, and they have nowhere to turn, and they come to the court to help them resolve that problem. And we're there to provide a place for them to have a fair process, to protect their rights, and everyone is given due process, which means they have an opportunity to be heard, they have an opportunity to tell their story, and everyone gets treated fairly. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean everybody wins as much as we would like to. But we work really hard, and I promise to continue to work hard to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to share their story in the courtroom and have a decision based on our laws. Our tribal court system is the judicial branch of our tribal government, and in addition to tribal council, we also work to protect our tribal sovereignty. By making decisions in our own community, we protect ourselves from the outside court system. It makes it much harder for them to reach in and make decisions for us. And as we've seen, as our court system has grown, they now respect our court. They respect our laws more and more. And they have to stand outside while we resolve our own problems. So where do we go from here? I'm excited to continue to work with council to continue to strengthen our judicial branch, our tribal court system, and to continue to strengthen our sovereignty so that our court is equipped to hear more and more different types of cases, especially to protect those who are most vulnerable, our children and our women who sometimes are victimized and who are looking for a safe place to live, a place where they will grow up safe and protected in our own community. So I look forward to working with council to make our court system even stronger and along the way our community stronger as well. Thank you. Now.
Now, Carrie, and once again, congratulations on coming back as the Chief Judge of the St. Regis Mohawk Tribal Court. Carrie mentioned her brother, Michael. Michael recently came back and is now serving as the Chief Financial Officer for the tribe, and we look forward to having him provide his years and years of experience working with various tribal operations, in particular tribal gaming operations, to help strengthen the tribe's financial positioning. I just want to recognize Michael, and I want to recognize both of their parents, Cecil and Barbara. Thank you very much for being here. As Ron had mentioned, the next person to be sworn in has been with the tribe for more than a few years. More than a few years. My understanding is she has served for the past 15 years as a traffic court judge, and she is now going to be sworn in for her 5th term. She has received her Justice of the Peace training and also bench skills for tribal court judges, and regularly attends national conferences on Native judicial matters. With that, please welcome to be sworn in, re-elected as the traffic court judge, Lois Terrance.
I, Lois Terrance, accept the position of traffic court judge
accept the position of traffic court judge
for the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe.
for the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
to uphold the laws,
to uphold the laws,
customs, and traditions
customs, and traditions
of the people of the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe
of the people of the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe
and the community of Akwesasne.
and the community of Akwesasne. Well, greetings, everyone, and thank you for being here today. Also, thank you for your vote of confidence for seeing me into another term of traffic court judge. Yes, I've been here for 15 years, and I think the exciting part about that is I've seen the traffic court evolve, and it just seems to get better and better. You know, we've had a lot of learning curves as well. We started out in the basement of the HUD building. That was our first court. And now we have a nice little courtroom. I really enjoy court. We're a user-friendly court, you might say. I do a lot of education. As Carrie mentioned, yes, we give people the opportunity to say what they have to say, to tell us their story, and I've come to be very comfortable with it and enjoying it. I thank everyone for being here. I hope you enjoy your lunch, and I'd also like to congratulate Carrie and Shelley and Beverly. So, thank you again. Now,
Congratulations, Lois. The next individual to be sworn in is a sub-chief that won re-election. And it's nice to see her come back to Tribal Council. As was indicated earlier, she has very clear thinking, goal-oriented, and serves as a liaison between Tribal Council and the Akwesasne Housing Authority. She has been a part of their efforts to help improve housing, not just for community members, but in particular for our veterans and for our seniors. She was a part of a planning session that was held last year in the development of a strategic action plan for the tribe, and the Solarize Akwesasne that was held last fall. She has served as the executive sponsor of the Broadband Initiative, which now has more than 1,600 customers, and is also a proponent for transparency and accountability to the membership, having supported a resolution to implement weekly work sessions that are held every Wednesday at 9 a.m. for membership to attend while Tribal Council mulls over issues and makes decisions, signs TCRs. Please join me in welcoming to the podium to be sworn in as Tribal Sub-Chief Shelley Jacobs.
I, Shelley Jacobs,
I, Shelley Jacobs,
accept the position of Tribal Sub-Chief
accept the position of Tribal Sub-Chief
for the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe.
for the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
to uphold the laws,
to uphold the laws,
customs, and traditions
customs, and traditions
of the people of the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe
of the people of the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe
and the community of Akwesasne.
and the community of Akwesasne. Good morning, everyone. It is an honor and a privilege to be here today. I want to start by thanking Brendan White for the wonderful introduction, and thank you to Chiefs LaFrance and Thompson for the beautiful words. And thank you to the Standing Arrow Singers who performed for us today. I also want to thank everyone who helped make this event possible, and to the Tribal Youth Council, our future leaders. For being here today to help hand out programs, seat our guests, and help Elma Ransom Sales Group get our food ready for later. So congratulations to Chief Judge Garrow and Traffic Court Judge Lois Terrance, and soon to be sworn in Chief Beverly Cook. It is with considerable gratitude that I begin my third term as your tribal sub-chief. I thank Rudy Hart for the confidence he has shown in me by renominating me, and the members of the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe for confirming my nomination. Back in 2010, during my first term as your sub-chief, I really didn't know what I was getting into. Rudy came to my house and asked if I would be willing to be his sub-chief. I said, I need to think about this. So I went and did research and looked at it, and I'm like, I can do this. Did I know what I was getting into? Not by a long shot. But I ask for your support, your assistance, and your patience as we move forward to working with all of you to strengthen our tribal government and to make the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe as effective as it can possibly be in advancing towards self-reliance to better serve the needs of Akwesasne. I believe then, and I still believe now, that it is essential that the community has the information it needs to understand and be assured of the integrity of our operations. In March of 2011, we adopted the Tribal Council Work Session, Policy and Procedures through Tribal Council Resolution 2011-11. Transparency of the St. Regis Mohawk Tribal Government organizational structure has improved through open work session legislation. However, I believe that we should be prepared to do even more, to become even more transparent. It is essential that you have the information you need to understand and be assured of the integrity of all our tribal operations, including all aspects of our balance sheets and financial controls. We will continue to work to ensure maximum transparency. In 2013, I sought re-election as your tribal sub-chief and was fortunate enough, with your support, to be granted a second term. I continued working towards transparency, the ability to see actions taken by tribal government, and oversight to ensure the government is following our policies and laws. I guess that's that attention to detail that Chiefs LaFrance and Thompson were talking about. But it is these two words that bring checks and balances. Checks and balances that help you know that we as a government are doing what we're doing and our integrity is intact. Early on in my second term, I was asked by Chief Cook to attend a trip with the Akwesasne Housing Authority as she was double booked. The purpose was to visit other tribes in the Midwest and to look at their housing programs, assisted living and supportive housing. Well, did you ever see that movie, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? That pretty much summed up that trip, minus the trains. We went from one meeting on one reserve to another meeting on another. And you know the term living out of your suitcase? Well, that's exactly what we did. Between all the meetings, traveling, getting up early, only to drive hours to get to the next airport, because most reservations are like us, you either have to drive 3 hours to get to the airport. It was fun, it was enlightening, I enjoyed their energy. This group of girls, they were, and it was go, go, go. I don't think I got one full night of sleep that trip. But it was after this trip that I became interested in this dynamic group and got involved only to become Tribal Council's lead liaison to the Akwesasne Housing Authority. Working together with Retha Hearn, the Executive Director, the Board of Commissioners, and Tribal Council has proven to be extremely rewarding. Projects that were just a vision 3 years ago are now on the horizon and becoming reality. With the recent funding of awards, the Akwesasne Housing Authority's Go Solar initiative that will provide tribal families with lower National Grid bills. The recent MOU with the Department of Veteran Affairs that will allow direct home loans to tribal veterans. 2 supportive housing projects for the disabled, elders, and veterans, and the new housing rehabilitation project on the horizon. It looks like it's going to be a busy couple of years, Retha, and I look forward to working with you. I welcome this new responsibility. Coming from the casino, my first real work family, it was an environment of teamwork, stop it, Kelly, and collaboration. AHA seemed like a little like home. You see, I believe it's dedication and hard work, coupled with collaborative efforts and teamwork that nurtures success. AHA's success is Akwesasne's success. Nyawam, Rita. In closing, I want to thank you, the voters, my supporters who came out and voted. Thank you for your continued support over the last 6 years. I am honored and humbled to be your 2016-2019 Tribal Sub-Chief. I look forward to working with council and staff for the next 3 years. You know, this morning, well, I came into work to reprint my speech, and I heard, Shelley, and I looked at Annie, and I'm like, she's like, no, and she points to Chief Cook's office. So Bev's like, hi. And she's like, I have the same skirt on. And I'm like, no you don't, because she's sitting down, and I'm like, no you don't. So I go around the desk, and I look, and sure enough, she did. Needless to say, we went home and changed. But it's working together with council and as a team where you start to think like one another and apparently dress like one another. And I'm honored to be part of this team. And last but not least, thank you to my family, my extended family. You know who you are. Whether you were knocking on doors, making signs, putting up with me, handing out brochures, or helping in any way. Nyama. Thank you for stepping up and collectively filling the vital role of campaign manager, a position that was vacated nearly 8 months ago. Without you and your continued support throughout this election, I would not be standing here today. And to my daddy, to paraphrase the words of Cole Swindell, you know, that if I could have just one wish, it'd be that you didn't have to miss this. You'd be loving this. You should be here. You should be here. Gonna let go.
Thank you very much, Sub-Chief Jacobs, for those very moving words. Our next person to be sworn in has served on behalf of the community for nearly 40 years, 35 years of that as a family nurse practitioner. And during that time, it was taking a wellness, a mind-body approach towards the wellness of our people. Some of her work has also been on looking at the historical trauma that our people have endured and how that is carried through generationally. And there's one study in particular, the adverse childhood experience, that she has been sharing with different gatherings in local schools. And the hope is that by taking a look at what we as a people and individuals have experienced, it may not be us personally, but perhaps our parents, our grandparents, and others, that we can better treat some of the illnesses and the conditions that our people are experiencing. That we can help not only improve the health and the physical part of our people, but also the spiritual and the emotional. Her work has resulted in her being appointed to the Tribal Leaders Diabetes Committee for the Nashville area as part of the United Southeastern Tribes, and also serves on the National Institute of Health's Tribal Consultation Advisory Committee. Similar to what Chief Eric Thompson shared, the environmental impact that we have endured continues to plague us, and how we address that continues to be a very important part of us as a community. And it was very nice to join them when they took part in the congressional hearing several weeks ago on environmental justice in Indian country. And as previously said, how they complement each other. It's a very strong team, folks. Please join me in welcoming to be sworn in for her second term as Tribal Chief Beverly Cook.
Raise your right hand. I, Beverly Cook,
I, Beverly Cook,
accept the position
accept the position
of Tribal Chief
of Tribal Chief
for the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe.
for the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
to uphold the laws,
to uphold the laws,
customs, and traditions
customs, and traditions
of the people of the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe
of the people of the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe
and the community of Akwesasne.
and the community of Akwesasne.
Sego Zilaguego. It was quite a morning, as Shelley already told you, after I spilled coffee on my speech. We found out we were dressed in the same skirt. The guys do it all the time. I don't know why we're so surprised about it. But anyway, I thank you all for attending today's swearing-in ceremony. I want to welcome our visitors and dignitaries that are here, and especially my family and my cousins. My mom is here again, and I love her very much. My daughters, I saw my grandson sneak in, I don't know, and my granddaughter. I'm extremely proud and happy to be here, and not only that, but I saw cousins that I haven't seen for years come in, and cousins I never met yet come in, and I'm so happy to see you here. So I'd like to extend my congratulations to Lois in her re-election to the position of Traffic Court Judge. And I'd like to welcome and congratulate our newly elected Chief Judge, Carrie Garrow. And last but not least, I extend my congratulations to Sub-Chief Shelley Jacobs on her successful election to a third consecutive term as sub-chief to the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe. I'm especially grateful for the support that I received in the weeks leading up to the election as well, and for all of the support I received, the voters who made time to come out, the voters who from far away, for all of the candidates, took the time and the effort to call in, to receive a ballot, to find a notary, to throw it back into the mail, and all the extra effort that it took for them to express their wishes on behalf of the members of the Akwesasne Mohawk Tribe. So my chiefs that I work with, my sub-chiefs that I work with, went into some of the political issues that we deal with on a daily basis, and I'm not going to repeat any of that. But I will say that I now have a renewed appreciation for anybody that runs for election, but especially re-election, because you know what you're in for and you do it anyway. But why do we do it anyway? At one point, I was considering not running, and I thought I might go back to the clinic. And then I thought, well, I'm really okay if I don't win, if I'm not successful, I'm okay with that. If I win and I'm successful, I'm okay with that too. But I was almost half resolved to not try. And then somebody put out a nasty anonymous letter full of lies and half-truths. And that was a big mistake on their part, because I couldn't back down. It made me more determined to show myself, being just who I am and telling the people the truth. Well, that didn't stop some Facebookers from putting a real beating on myself and the rest of Tribal Council. And sometimes we think we're just going to let it go, we're not going to mention it, we're not going to talk about it, but some things are never going to change unless we look at it and try to figure out what is that. It's hard to remain reasonable on Facebook in the face of all that unfounded hostility, but I had to respond. And I made a point of responding calmly. And why did I do that? Because inside I was seething at the injustice that was being said about the other chiefs that I work with, and with the sub-chiefs, with all of us collectively at the tribe, including our programs and the people that work for us. The reason I replied, and the reason I replied calmly and deliberately, was because, for one thing, supplying the facts seems to work like a wet blanket and puts the fire out most of the time. But there was a more important reason for calmly recounting the facts and being reasonable. And that reason is because my grandchildren are my Facebook friends. And what I was reading, they were reading. And what kind of behavior was I going to model for them? I was imagining what it must be like for children to be bullied on Snapchat or Facebook or Instagram. I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm just assuming you can be bullied on Instagram. But how do they defend themselves against mean-spirited behaviors by others? And what are we, as adults, showing our children? If we can't handle ourselves, how will they ever develop the communication skills they require to have successful relationships? How will they ever be an effective parent, or a teacher, or a leader if they can't communicate with patience, kindness, and respect? Are we teaching them that it's okay to speak to elders, children, or co-workers that way? Are we teaching them that it's okay for employers or co-workers and leaders to speak to them that way? Well, we are, unless we start practicing unconditional personal regard. Why do I think this is important enough to talk about at an inauguration ceremony? Because I care about our people, and I believe we can find healing, hope, and peace within ourselves and with each other. The responsibility that comes with this position is enormous and humbling. It isn't until you sit in your first few meetings that the reality of what it means to ensure the health, education, welfare, and safety of the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe and our community members really hits home. It certainly isn't something that can be done by one individual. It takes each and every one of us. It takes cooperation and collaboration by many. By those of us that sit around the council table, our executive director and his team, including all the programs that he oversees. In addition, our legal department, our communications department, compliance, education, health and law enforcement, DSS, and all the programs they encompass, family support, environment, economic development, gaming, Mohawk Networks, and Akwesasne TV, and our committees, boards, and commissions. We are all at the service of our community. We are our community. We are the community, and the community is us. My hope is we grow stronger in our commitment to each other. While we are grieving a loss and confronting a grave illness, and also with every achievement we make as individuals and as a tribal family, to show joy and pride for each other when things go right. It's a tough balance to maintain. So we're also in very strong support of our Mohawk language, our culture, and athletics. Those projects are essential to fostering self-confidence, self-esteem, and health. They are not fluff. They are important to our youth and many of our elders. In my speech, I said I want to end with a few words, and I wrote 3 more pages of stuff, so. But what I want to get to is that my hope for us is that we live well, that we make memories with our friends and families that will live on through time. Maybe something we said or did last week will be retold or remembered decades from now at a family gathering and will have an impact on someone's life in the future, giving them hope. Maybe something we said last week is still burning a hole in someone's spirit and causing them to question why they're even here. The climate we create for ourselves and each other and our children determines how long and how difficult it will be for us to achieve our vision of healing, hope, and peace. To me, that would be a better tomorrow. And for whom are we doing all of this? For whom are we doing all of this? For the babies, for the toddlers, and the children that depend on us for food, shelter, clothing, education, and safety. The young ones who are looking for the love and affection they need to live and to thrive. They are the lens through which I hope we all find our own purpose and meaning in life. And with that, I want to thank you for being here, for supporting all of us, for supporting our team who believes strongly in every word that I just said. Thank you very much.
Cook to please stay up here with me. This was last minute, but we have a special presentation. And on behalf of the Nouveau Foundation's Indigenous Leaders Girls and Women's Program, I would like to call forward Alexandra David.
The Nouveau Foundation is dedicated to building a more just and balanced world. Founded in 2006 by Jennifer and Peter Buffett, Nouveau is one of the largest private foundations in the world. With its recent launch of the Indigenous Communities Initiative and the development of the Leadership Program for Indigenous Girls and Women that I am so honored to be a part of, Nouveau has proven its commitment to the growth of Indigenous communities from the ground up. By creating opportunities to gather some of our strongest Native women in Indian country together, our mission is to cultivate a new generation of Indigenous women leaders. Leadership doesn't just happen. Leadership ripens. It comes with trust and mutual respect and a love of your people. In the words of Jan Longboat, you are not a leader unless someone follows you. Beverly, you exemplify these words. In your actions, you lead. You take the hands of those who need help and you teach us a better path. Rites of Passage touches the lives of so many of our youth, and it exists because of leaders like you. In your words, you are kind and compassionate. As a clinician, you spent a lifetime caring for our community. As a leader, you've helped to prioritize the health issues facing your people, and you've courageously stepped into this role, knowing how your experience and your teachings can impact Native people. There is power in listening, power in understanding how we can lift each other up and encourage the next generation of Indigenous women leaders. You are teaching that quiet power. On a personal note, I've known Bev since I was a teenager. I grew up with her daughter, and many times we had to encounter her mom in many of our teenage adventures. She never gave up on us. Much like this community, it's hard to be a leader, but she has proven over the past 3 years that no matter what is thrown her way, she will never give up. The Nouveau Foundation believes that you, Chief Beverly Cook, possess these qualities of leadership, and we want to show you our support by presenting you with this Pendleton. In honor of your activism and your dedication to your people, on behalf of all of us at the Nouveau Foundation, we would like to say congratulations and nyawa for all that you are.
Thank you very much. I'm flabbergasted. I had no idea. I appreciate your kind words. And the Nouveau Foundation is doing incredible work, launching on their mission on behalf of women and girls. And I'm just very proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Cook, for those remarks. She noted that the work they do is enormous, it's humbling. I would also like to add the words unenviable, but more importantly, admirable. Not just for the work that Chief Cook does, but for all the individuals that we are here to celebrate today, for making the decision to step up into a leadership position on behalf of our community. Please join me once more in congratulating Tribal Chief Beverly Cook, Tribal Sub-Chief Shelley Jacobs, Chief Judge Carrie Garrow, and Traffic Court Judge Lois Terrance, your 2016 elected officials. Brendan White, Director of Communications for the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe.
And who was sworn in today and for what roles?
We had 4 individuals sworn in today. we swore in Tribal Chief Beverly Cook, Tribal Sub-Chief Shelley Jacobs, Tribal Traffic Court Judge Lois Terrance, and Chief Judge Carrie Garrow.
And what's the significance of today's event?
I think the significance is an indication that we as a tribe, and more importantly as a community, are moving in the right direction. And I say that because the outcome of this year's tribal election saw two individuals, two incumbents, re-elected to their positions on tribal council.
Okay, thank you.
Carrie Garrow. I'm the newly sworn-in Chief Judge of the St. Regis Mohawk Tribal Court.
So how are you feeling about your next term?
I'm very excited to be working at the court. We have a great staff, and I'm very much looking forward to helping the court grow, increasing our dockets or the different types of cases we're taking, and I'm really excited to continue to make the court a place that helps our community.
And what can the community expect from you in regards to leadership?
So I'm very excited to be back in the community. I'm very excited to not just work in the court system, but also perhaps be happy to work with youth and encourage them to go to school. And as I said also before, also work towards building the court system to make sure that it's a place where everyone feels like they're treated fairly.
And what did you think of today's event?
I thought it was a really nice event. It was I was excited to see so many people here, and it was great feeling their support, and I really appreciated all the great words that everyone shared.
I'm Lois Terrance. I'm the re-elected traffic court judge for the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe.
And how are you feeling about your next term?
I'm happy. I'm pleased. I really enjoy court. We've come a long ways, because I've had 15 years experience doing the traffic court in the community. I've seen it grow. And it's just it's a nice position, and try and be fair. We hear people out. We have all kinds of people, our community members, and outsiders, the people that pass through the community. So I get to see a lot of different people, and especially the outsiders, to explain to them why we're here for the health, safety, and welfare of our people and the people that pass through the community. And sometimes I have to do some education on, the laws and the rules, or, especially with the drivers, and, I'm happy, I'm pleased. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Shelley Jacobs, Tribal Sub-Chief for St. Regis Mohawk Tribe.
What can the community expect from you in regards to your leadership?
In regards to my leadership, I come from a team environment. I like building teams. I like putting people in place that know what they're doing. I mean, today, Brandon was giving me a lot of credit. It's not me that did the work. It was me that was getting the right people in the right places at the right times, and getting them together and building that team and establishing that cohesiveness where, and bringing people together. It's like, what? This one can help you with this, and building that team. And that's what we did with broadband. It was a beautiful event. I enjoyed the collaboration with everybody and the teamwork together, bringing the Tribal Youth Council in to do work and learning who council is, and and a lot of the roles, and I look forward to having them at future monthly tribal meetings.
I'm Beverly Cook, and I'm one of the St. Regis Mohawk Tribal Council Chiefs. My leadership has always been one of example. I've always taken time in answering questions from the community, explaining in detail why we do the things that we do and what our rationale is for making the decisions that we make. So it'll be more of the same. We hope to be a little bit more communicative, maybe through Akwesasne TV and CKON and Mohawk Networks out there, getting the word out this year. So we're beginning to get more comfortable with that. It hasn't been something that we've been used to in the past, so we're hoping that we can get the messages out to more of the community. And we only get maybe 30, 35 people at the most at the tribal meetings, and that's not enough. So,
is there anything else you'd like to add on today's event?
I'm just really happy to be reelected. It's a good feeling that people want you back in and are satisfied with the work that you've done, and also that they have the confidence in that you can do more. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yo honey, ka yo honey, yo honey, yo honey.